So you understand, you were never meant to be a nation of people who were just sort of a cog in somebody else's machine. You personally were never intended to be just another piece of somebody else's gigantic puzzle or their grand scheme, right? You were supposed to be free and independent. You were supposed to be owner of your property, your country, etc. Like I'm talking to Americans, and that's what's missing right now. Okay, you weren't supposed to just be a cog in some corporate machine, right? That functions, that lives on endless amounts of largesse, money printing. You weren't supposed to be like that. It was supposed to be that you owned your property, your business, and your life, and you were independent. That's what it was supposed to be. That's what American culture really was. This idea of endless federal land and corporate owned land, and hedge fund owned land, and hedge fund to own everything. No, no, that wasn't supposed to be a thing. Founders would consider that thoroughly repugnant to their vision. And especially foreign governments owning land in the U.S. Are you serious? Who in the world would allow that? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a hypocrite about this. I don't think the U.S. should be owning land in any other country for that matter. I mean, embassy, yeah, sure, an embassy, that's fine, but that's usually like a lease kind of situation. But as far as ownership, no. No, we've got plenty of shit that we can do here. We have plenty of our own problems to solve in the U.S. We don't need to go adventure seeking elsewhere. You were supposed to be free and independent as an individual person and as a family, your family unit, right? And you were supposed to own your property, you're supposed to own your building, you're supposed and like own this shit. Not be perpetually paying interest to some fucking bankers. Okay? That's the kind of shit that needs to end. And that's, by the way, that's what's caused a lot of these problems is this endless idea of just money printing and paying debt and interest. Interest rates, inflation, insurance premiums, and taxes are all controlled by the same people. It's the same people every single fucking time. Every time you look behind, it's the regulatory capture. It's the same goddamn people over and over and over and over. It's the same name, same families, all of it. Okay, so you're going to have to actually realize this as Americans that and I'm talking predominantly to younger people because I don't know that the older generation can get this anymore. I think that they're still stuck on the idea that no, 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 we can do it this old way. No, the old way doesn't work anymore. We now have to go back. We have to go back to the idea of the roots and say, hold on a second here. What was the country about in the first place? It was about individual ownership. Individual ownership. That means you were supposed to own your business on your property, conducting whatever it is that you do. You were supposed to be, control the means of your production, right? Or, well, I mean, that's the commie way of saying it. The capitalist way of saying that would be vertical integration. You've heard me say this before. That's what you were supposed to do. You were supposed to be, for the most part, self-sufficient and vertically integrated. Okay? So that's the part that's missing. That's the part that nobody's talking about. Well, yeah, it's because it's fucking dangerous to talk about that kind of shit. Why is it dangerous? Because it threatens the power of the politicians and the bankers. The bankers don't want to hear shit like this. People who claim that you owe them money, you owe them nothing. You owe them fuck all. Okay, you owe them nothing. You owe these people nothing. You owe them fucking nothing. Give them nothing. There is nothing you owe them. They gave you nothing. Well, they lent a bunch of money. No, they printed a bunch of shitty paper out of nothing, and then pretended that you owe them something. Dude, fuck off. Okay, fuck all the way off with that shit. Give these people nothing. These are the same thieves and beggars they've always fucking been. Okay? So, no, you were supposed to actually not just be a cog in somebody else's machine. You were supposed to actually be free and independent as individual people. That's the deal. You're supposed to own your businesses, own your property, own your life. That's yours. It's supposed to be all yours. That anything that is outside of that is completely repugnant to the vision that the founders had for this country.